Good morning, everybody. This morning, we're fortunate to have Mr. Thurman Tillman, President from Adjacent Solutions, as well as his guest, Mr. Dutrow. We're going to be exploring careers in commissioning. Due to time, we'll go ahead and get rolling. Mr. Tillman.
Greetings and salutations.
Greetings and salutations. Thank you for this.
We're so glad to be here with everybody will hear this presentation. I want to present to you Dick Dutrow, who is the president of Total Systems Commissioning Incorporated. Started in 2003. You'll hear more about that. But the important part is when you're dealing with construction, you really need to hear about this. I did not really know what commissioning was, but when you hear what commissioning is, you'll see just how important it is for all that's going on with major with major things that are doing, major buildings we have in our community and beyond. So without further ado, I want to present to you the president of Total Systems Commissioning, Brother Dick Dutrow.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Reverend Tillman. I appreciate it. It's a good opportunity to get to meet the people in Savannah and give you guys an opportunity to see what we do in the commissioning world and in construction. So like Reverend said, we started this business in 2003 and still in business, doing well through the pandemic. Next slide. See if I can see what we're doing here. Okay. All righty. So what am I doing? And just a second. I'm trying to play along while you're doing this thing with the slides on my side of the computer too. So again, we're a small company. There's about 15 of us here on any given day. Right now we're doing work at the Savannah Arena and we're working over at Savannah State University. So we're pretty, and then we also have about 4 projects recording. So we're pretty active in the Savannah area and hope to keep doing it. Commissioning is a interesting specialty in the construction and engineering business. We kind of start in the design phase with the project gets moving from what the owner's point of view, what the owner's requirements are for their project. From there, we move into the construction phase and make sure that the building gets constructed like it's designed, and we make sure it's energy efficient. And so why do you do commissioning? We're going to talk about that in a few minutes, okay? And who can do it and the internship of possibilities and opportunities with Total Systems Commissioning. So next slide. So again, it's founded in 2003. I've been doing this since about 1989, doing commissioning. So we've been around doing a little while for different places all over the world, all over the country. So we've about 400 projects we've done with Total Systems. I've probably done about 700, 800 projects altogether. Next slide, please. So it says, what is commissioning? It's an interactive process of integrating the building processes together. I'm not going to read these slides to you. You guys can read just fine, but we're going to kind of go to overview basically. But establishes guidelines and checklists for how the building should operate. And it helps to maintain indoor air quality, which is really important in these days of our viruses. Certain ones that are going around, because you can't have better indoor air quality than you can get through commissioning. Next slide. So as an overview, these are the systems we commission. You guys are in construction. A lot of you guys are, so you know a little bit about this, but it's the HVAC systems, the plumbing, the control systems, electrical systems right through generators, grounding. We also do the envelope, which is basically the skin of the building, the roof, the windows, doors, make sure the building is watertight and airtight, which helps a lot with your energy efficiency. Then there's specialty systems like fire alarm, SCADA systems, voice and data, CCTV. We commission all this stuff. It can be commissioned. Next. So the process, like I said before, it starts in the planning phase. It goes all the way through design and construction. Acceptance phase is when we the owners are moving into the building. We show them how the building operates and how to operate it efficiently and to maintain it, because you can't maintain a building if you don't know how it's working well. It's very important to maintain buildings. I'm sure you guys have one of your curriculums is about how to maintain HVAC and plumbing systems. So then it goes through the warranty phase. After a year of the project being open, we come back and kind of fine tune the building to make sure that how the owners and operators have changed stuff. You guys know that rooms change from computer labs to libraries or back and forth, and that makes a difference in how the building operates. So we like to come back after a year and make adjustments to make sure the building operates more efficiently. Next. See, okay, there you go. So why do we commission? All right, kind of hit on that a few minutes ago. It makes a safe, comfortable building. It reduces maintenance cost, which is very important. Maintenance is a huge amount of money that people spend to keep their buildings operating efficiently. And it helps to avoid problems during the construction. Makes buildings run smoother. We kind of integrate everything together and make all the systems work together. Next. Where am I here? All right, so what do we actually do? All right. This is a Delta engine test facility that we did that is pretty interesting. I'm sitting in the exhaust tube for a jet engine in the test facility. We do a lot of field work. It's about 30–40% in the field. The rest of it is sitting in the desk doing paperwork, reports, reading specifications and plans, and writing reports on what we see in the field. And then we transmit those reports to the contractors and engineers so they can make adjustments and fix stuff that is put in incorrectly or needs to be adjusted. And we cooperate with all the different trades. So we have to get along with electricians and the plumbers and the pipe fitters, the sheet metal workers and the control guys and electricians. We get to shake hands with everybody. So who can be a commissioning agent, right? We have a pretty varied group of people who work for us, right? My degree is in chemical engineering, but there's a lot of heat transfer in that. So I got started in commissioning because I had worked my way through Georgia Tech. So I started working for a mechanical contractor, and I just kind of stuck in the business. Taylor has a degree in business administration. Mike's got a degree in project management. Craig was a sheet metal worker. And then it gets really strange. Sydney, who's no longer with us, is a geologist. And Josie is he's a physics major from Georgia State. Lou's mechanical engineer, the only one we have on staff actually, which is kind of funny. Dalen is applied mathematics. We also have another intern just joined us who's an aeronautical engineer at Georgia Tech. He needed some experience in airplanes and stuff. We do a little work at Lockheed, so he gets to put Lockheed on his resume. So when he graduates, he has experience for his future employers. It says he has work in his field. So we like to help people out by getting them internships so they can, and they move on in their careers. They have experience in construction or engineering. So what do we all have in common? We all have technical training in common. We all have the ability to write reports. We're talking to a young man who goes to Savannah State right now, who has a degree in, he's getting his degree in communications. And so we need that kind of help. Everybody needs to write reports. Project time management and ability to communicate with people effectively. It's really important to be able to do that. Okay, that's the next slide. So I think we skipped a slide here. There you go. Okay, so we kind of went over that just a second ago. So there's multiple certifications that can be employed in our business and in construction and engineering. And you just got to find a place that fits yours. So internship opportunities, like it says right here, we have basic tasks that our interns do. Working on spreadsheets, basic calculations, becoming familiar with construction drawings, learning the different names and terminologies in the HVAC business, and electrical and plumbing, how to write reports, effective report writing, and how to manage your time for multiple projects at the same time. Time management is important if you're working in construction or engineering. So basically, that's the overview of our commissioning process. It didn't go too deep in the weeds because I figure you guys have a lot of questions here in just a few seconds. But for the most part, it's a great business to be in. We get to spend a lot of time around the country, move around a little bit. We get to see a lot of people, places, and it's not very exciting because they got the good stuff. We're doing the Savannah Arena right now. You should come down and see that place. It's a really, really nice facility. It's going to be open any minute now. I think they've postponed a couple concerts already because they're not quite open yet, but we're getting there close. Can't get you at Fort Gordon. I mean, at Fort Stewart, rather. But we can get you to over at South Carolina, at Savannah State. Maybe we'll take some of you guys over there and walk you around and show you our process over there if the facility will let us get you guys on campus. So what can we answer questions with? Mr. Robinson's one first, I guess. How many interns do you typically have on staff? What opportunities are currently available? We typically have 2 to 3 interns on staff at a time. Right now, like I said, we're working at Savannah State, and there's an opportunity there to help us on campus because it's nice to have boots on the ground when we're in Atlanta and we have a project in Savannah. And right now, we could probably use 1 or 2 interns. Like I said, I think we're going to hire this young man, Ray Sean, to help us out. But we can always have room for more. So I travel probably once, maybe 3 times a month out of town for this. We have somebody who lives in Savannah, so I don't get that often. I was there last week in Savannah. But it's opportunity. I've been to China, been to Russia, all around the world doing commissioning work. So that's a nice opportunity if you like to travel and get to see the world. Right now, we have a job in Peru. We can't get there right now because of COVID, but we have a job in Peru. We have one in Puerto Rico. And around the country, we have work in El Paso, Texas, Norfolk, Virginia. We have one in Connecticut. So if you like to travel, it's not a bad job either. Tours. Well, the problem is I can't give tours to places because most of the facilities aren't ours. We have to get permission from the owners or wherever. I can't get you on a construction site because of OSHA requirements, but I can take you onto other places if you want to see, but we have to get permission from the owners. That's a good question. So typical day in the field. You show up, you check in with the general contractor, tell him you're there. You grab the particular foreman who you're going to work with that day, and then you go out and walk the project site and look at the installation of the pipe, ductwork, whatever you're looking at that day. You take pictures of what you see. Then when you leave, you come back to the office, and then you write up your report and hope to get it out the next day so they can make corrections. And after that, you go back in about a week and see if they made the corrections or not. Then you fight about it. Another good question. So Barry, who are you? That's a good question. We sometimes work for the general contractor. Sometimes we work for the owner. Sometimes we work for an engineer. So it depends who we are working for as to our responsibilities and who we have authority over or with. Okay. And yet we are quality control to a point, but the general contractor is supposed to do his own quality control, and we just verify that it's been done correctly. But we help out. We see something that's not correct, we write it up and tell them. It's kind of a cooperative team effort. It's not us against them. It's a general rule. And so the best way to do this is to cooperation. We have a commissioning team. Now, the commissioning team includes everybody who is in, has anything to do with the process that we're working with, right? So the mechanical contractor, the plumber, electrician, controls contractor, general contractor, all on the commissioning team. And we work as a team effort to build these facilities and get them done correctly. And it does take a team effort because it's not a one-man show here. So we typically, our interns make from $15 to $18 an hour to $20, depends what level you're at in your school and how effective you are with what you can do when you walk in the front door. You get raises according to that. Starting salaries are anywhere from $45,000 to $60,000 to work for us, depending upon, again, your degree and how much I have to train you from day one. But at the end of the day, you can make $100,000, $150,000 a year as a commissioning agent. Plus I buy you lunch. The preferred degrees is an engineering degree, obviously, although we have physics majors. It is in the engineering or science field, it's preferred. Architects works too, because we have to do envelope architectural. Again, communications is important, and so is management. So those opportunities, as I said before, are viable fits for the commissioning process. Like my degree is in chemical engineering, so there's a lot of heat transfer in that. So that's how I fit in there. So the last time we talked to the last group of students, we also talked about just general construction in general, getting construction business, because as you can see around Savannah, there's a lot of construction going on. And you can always get a job in construction right these days. They're looking for people right and left. I mean, you can't get enough help, qualified help on projects. You can make $100,000 a year as a welder or pipe fitter or electrician if you get a good job and you're well trained. So these are well-paid professions, and I'm glad you guys are in school to do this kind of stuff, because we need more people in the construction industry. We're really short on manpower right now. All my people are OSHA 10 or OSHA 30 qualified. It's important if you're working in construction to know about safety. We have to know a lot about safety because we move a lot. We put our hands on a lot of moving equipment in a lot of places, and climb ladders and get in ditches and things like that. So we have to know about OSHA, and so does everybody in construction should know about OSHA and OSHA rules and regulations. Safety is paramount in construction. So what software do we guys use? We use Excel spreadsheets, Microsoft Word. We do some specialty programs. We want to do load calculations, but it's mostly Excel and Word and Adobe, BIM 360. So there are some software programs for commissioning. We don't use them. We have our own, basically. But it's, like I said, it's the basic ones. There's nothing fancy. Most of the software that you buy for load calculations, things like that, you get it from Carrier, Train, or something like that. And those are good ones to learn to use too. Big construction project. World's tallest building. It was in China. They never actually built it because it was being built by Daewoo, and they went bankrupt. And but anyway, it was the world's tallest building. They finally built it in Singapore, I think. And I guess the only one about that was the Venetian Casino in Las Vegas. That was a $1.3 billion project. They had liquidated damages in that job. Liquidated damages are, I guess, a penalty you pay for not being open on time. it was $300,000 a day liquidated damages for every day that they were not open on time. When I started the project, they were over a month and a half behind. When I finished my part, we were only a week behind. So I only lost $1.2 million for being a week late, or $2.1 million, sorry. There's my math. For welding students, not particularly. Pipe fitters, you might be able to do that. But welding students, you'd probably be better to stay in the welding profession because we don't actually do any work as far as construction part. We just kind of observe what's going on. Best part of our job. Best part of our job is making buildings like schools, hospitals, things like that help people. We don't do a lot of Walmarts and things like that, but I think it's fixing buildings and making buildings comfortable for people and make them better places to work, to learn. I like working on colleges. We do a lot of public school work. Matter of fact, we commissioned, I think, 6 or 7 projects in Pooler for South Carolina Chatham school system. That was about 8-10 years ago. You're still building schools in Pooler. And getting paid, that's a good part too. So the most challenging part of our job is keeping abreast of the new technologies. There's always something new coming out. With COVID, there's a lot of technology out there that people claim that kills the virus, and recommending and using the ones that actually work the best is tough to do because, one, you can't see the thing, right? You can't tell if it's dead or not. You can't run around and test it in the air. So I guess you can, but not anything we have to do it. But so the challenging part is keeping up with the technologies. And it's exciting too, because you learn something every day. You never stop learning. And we take, for my different degrees I have, or certifications, I have to take ongoing education classes. And I probably take 4 of those a week. You know, the seminars, webinars, sort of like what we're doing right now, except I'm learning in them just like you're learning here. All righty. Well, good. So you guys have my contact information on the screen here. If you need more information from us or want to talk about it further, we'll welcome set up an appointment. We can chat some more about it and see what we can help you with, So how consistent do you get new projects? Because we've been in business now for a long time and we have a lot of contacts around the country, I probably bid maybe 7 jobs a week, maybe 5 or 7 jobs a week, somewhere around 20 jobs a month. Of those 20 jobs I bid a month, I probably get maybe 1 or 2. But we celebrate every time we get a new job. We work out to lunch. And right now we do about $2 million for the business a year. And there's people who do more than we do, for sure. We're a medium-sized firm. And we are responsible for some testing we do. We test the sequences. But as far as actual, let's say, material testing for welding and stuff like that, there's other people that do that kind of stuff. We make sure it gets done and perform correctly, but we don't do the actual testing ourselves. We kind of direct the testers to do stuff. But we do have a boatload of equipment and meters, things like that, that we can measure humidity, temperatures, pressures, things like that. They're all digital.
All right. I want to thank Mr. Tillman and Mr. Dutro for your time. We greatly appreciate you guys taking some time out of your busy days to talk with our students. Very valuable information that we'll share with everyone through our YouTube page. Again, we really appreciate everything that you've offered to us, and hopefully we can make some great connections with our students and with your business and continue to have that relationship.
Thanks for the opportunity to meet you. And
Thank you so much.
hope to talk.
Thank you.